10 News begins with breaking news.
Water covering a North Park neighborhood this morning after a main break. I'm Jim Padden.
I'm Virginia Cha. Sky 10 showing just how widespread the damage is. We have team coverage in North Park. We begin with 10 News reporter Jared Ahrens at the spot where crews believe that pipe burst. Jared?
Yeah, Virginia, Jim, you can see crews are getting ready to dig up this street and assess the damage. Just on the surface level, look at how bad it is. Parts of the asphalt pushed up at cracks. This section forced almost 3 inches above the ground. This area was covered with water just a few hours ago, and the people who live in those houses woke up to a catastrophe. Water flowing out of every crack in the street and down every alley in its path.
Water will find the path of least resistance.
A 30-inch cast iron transmission line broke just after 6:30 this morning.
Niagara Falls, it felt like. The water was making some big noise.
Nathan Schmidt came out to see what was going on. Walking across the street, a river separated him from his 6-year-old son.
I was a little bit worried when they first told me, like, you stay here, don't go back and get your son. What do you mean don't go back and get your son? Of course I am. Like, oh, you could die.
Firefighters brought little Chucky out, delivering him into his dad's waiting arms. Meanwhile, swiftwater rescue crews went door to door, telling people to stay inside and checking for flooding.
The worst I've ever seen.
Jeremiah Segrist has lived here for 24 years. Water flooded his basement, but his lawn stayed dry thanks to a makeshift barrier of sandbags he put up last week during the rain.
Me and my son had been a little lax in taking him up. The wife was on us, and she's all, just do it tomorrow, and thank God we didn't do it last night.
After an hour and 40 minutes, crews got the water turned off, and the cleanup began.
We will open up the street, uncover the broken main, either replace or abandon that transmission main, depending on where it's at, and make the repairs and put the water main back in service.
Letting these neighbors get back to life as usual after a morning that was anything but normal.
Not a cloud in the sky and just enough water on the ground to think you start building a boat to get out of here. It was crazy. It was just crazy.
So there's no word on how old that pipe was that broke this morning. The water department also had to shut down an 8-inch distribution line. So right now, all these houses still have water shut off. That's about a 5-block stretch in this neighborhood. They're hoping to get that distribution line back working later this afternoon. They say if they can't, they'll bring in water trucks to make sure everybody here has what they need for the rest of the day. Live in North Park, Jared Ahrens, 10 News.
Thank you, Jared. Now, as you can see, some streets in North Park are still